Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode of LT's Laser Lancer Review. These videos are made to just give you a quick, brief review of whatever the topic is I'll be covering. This should not be the only means of studying. That's important for you to know. This should not be the only way you study. This is just to give you a little refresher or more of an appetizer of the topic. So let's jump right into it. So the topic today is European feudalism, fun and exciting times. So what is feudalism? Feudalism was the political system in medieval Europe that provided structure after the fall of Rome. Remember, after Rome falls, Western Europe is going to be like a wasteland. It's going to be very unsafe, especially if you don't know how to fight. It was very dangerous out in the wilderness of Western Europe. People wanted structure. People wanted order. Feudalism is not a perfect system by any means, but this provided order and stability. And the big thing to remember about European feudalism and feudalism in general is land equals wealth equals power. There is no money because everyone lives on the manor, so it's all about how much land that you own. So, important to know. And then European feudalism is going to take place during the medieval period, and we'll talk more about what's going on in medieval Europe in a little bit. So, what you need to know about feudal Europe is this pyramid system right here. The higher you go up on the pyramid, up here, the lower the population, because there's only one king, but the more land they have. So the higher you go, the more land there is, but the smaller the population. The lower you go, the less land they own, but the higher the population. So up top is going to be the king. The king or queen or the monarchy will obviously own the most land because they'll own all the land in the kingdom. And some kingdoms at this time, early examples are like the Franks. That was a kingdom of the Franks that becomes modern France later on. So the king of Franks would have the most power in the feudal system. And then below the king would be the nobles or the lords. Another name for this is lords. I know sometimes that pops up on exams. Make sure you know both names. So the lords and nobles, they would run the land, and that's a good job. If you have that, you're rich, life's pretty good for you. And then you have knights that are right below the nobles. They would protect the land. That's also a pretty comfy job. If you were a knight, it was because your father was either a knight or your father was a noble and you were maybe a third or fourth born son and there's no land to give to you. So anyone above knights, above where my mouse is crossing over right now, that's where you want to be in medieval Europe. Life is good. But however, you can see that's not all the population. Peasants is going to be the next step. It's important to know the difference between peasants and serfs. Peasants are going to be pretty much your basic people, your baker, your blacksmith, people like that. They have freedom to roam from kingdom to kingdom if they please, but generally they stayed in the land because bakers don't know how to fight like knights do. If they travel in the wilderness, they probably got killed or robbed. Serfs, however, is just a fancier form of slavery with different steps. The important thing to know about serfs is they come with the land. They're like batteries are included. They are bound to the land. So if I had a kingdom and I took over another kingdom, I would inherit those serfs. Most times those peasants would probably either get killed or they would scatter, but the serfs stay with the land. And the most important thing you need to know is you were born into a social class. There's no social mobility whatsoever. If you're a king, if your father's the king, you become the king when he dies. If your father's a noble, you become a noble. If your father was a serf, you become a serf. Okay? So, if any of this went too fast, you could always rewind, which is very nice. Or you can rewatch, do what you have to do. And remember, these quick videos, they're meant to be quick little snips of videos. They are not meant for you to get everything out of this. You should go back to your notes and study and do other things too. This is just more of a starter or a quick summary. However, every LT Laser Lance review will always end with a fun fact. A fun fact that has nothing to do with the video. So your fun fact of the day is Montana is known as the treasure state because it produces the most gold, silver, and copper in the United States. So that's fun. There you go. Bet you didn't know that. So thanks for watching. As always, everybody, I'm LT, and we will see you next time.